In many ways, 1965 was a routine year. The price of gas was 32 cents a gallon. A loaf of bread was 21 cents. And a new house could be purchased for less than $14,000. Customary annual events took place. The Los Angeles Dodgers won the World Series. My Fair Lady won the Academy Award for Best Picture. And on February 2nd, shortly after 8 a.m., Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow. But many observers say 1965 was one of the most revolutionary years in recent history. 5 major cultural forces were exploding at once: civil rights, Vietnam, the pill, psychedelics, and the influence of rock music. As we strove to achieve President Kennedy's goal of putting a man on the moon by the end of the decade, the war in Vietnam was worsening. Race riots broke out in Watts, California, leaving 34 dead, more than 1,000 injured, and over 600 buildings damaged or destroyed. The violence of Bloody Sunday in Selma, Alabama, marked the beginning of the voting rights movement. Building on initiatives from John F. Kennedy's New Frontier, Lyndon Johnson launched a series of domestic programs with the goal of eliminating poverty and racial injustice. The most ambitious of the so-called Great Society programs was Johnson's unconditional war on poverty.
And this administration today, here and now, declares unconditional war on poverty in America.
The centerpiece of the war on poverty was the Economic Opportunity Act of 1964, which created an Office of Economic Opportunity to oversee a variety of community-based anti-poverty programs.
And when you look at the programs that these visionaries, the folks who drafted the Economic Opportunity Act 50 years ago, they saw people in need, Americans in need, and they said, let's create a context within which they can have the same opportunities that all Americans should enjoy. So what did they do? They created programs like Head Start, Legal Services Corporation, Community Health Centers, WIC.
It was an open field, the passion of 50 years ago, which was just look around, if you see something, let's do it, let's jump in with both feet, we're changing the world, we're changing humanity, we're helping the earth.
Our mission is simple to articulate: alleviate the effects of poverty, attack its underlying causes, and promote dignity and self-sufficiency. The task can be daunting.
You can't give up. You have to keep working. You have to get more creative. You have to think of a different angle in order to keep the doors open and the trains running, or as Connie would want me to say, the buses running.
But in general, the monies are less than they need to be, and the job is bigger than can be done. And so it's a constant, I think, juggling of how can we serve the most people in the most effective way.
We like to say, we help people help themselves. And as we pursue this purpose, we make a huge difference every day.
When you're feeling like there's nowhere else and you just, what are you going to do? It's a great place to go, because not only are they there for your kids, but they're also there for you. They make sure that you have what you need. They're touching base, you know, how's everything going at home? You know, do you need anything?
We were homeless. We had no car, we had no job. And now we both have jobs, we have a vehicle, our kids are secure and happy, and I think that the agency played a huge role in that. I really do.
I don't have to move. I don't have to disrupt the children and go into a different home and wondering how I'm going to pay for it. And I don't have to worry about an apartment, you know. And with children, it's hard. Pull them from a school and put them in a different one.
And there are times when things are personal like this. You know, being a single mother in my situation, and having to be the head of a household, having to take care of kids, whether they're 13 or 18, or, you know, just being the one people look up to, and not being able to make things happen breaks your heart. The last thing I wanted to do was have my kids on the street.
I grew up in poverty. I was fortunate that my parents were able to get me out of our situation, get me through dental school, and have a successful career. I look at every patient and I think to myself, the patients that we see primarily in community health, and I see myself in that patient. This is me when I was a young boy. And how did I get out of there? Because somebody was able to help me here and there, and I managed to make it out.
Influence or given the right direction to certain people, even when they're at their lowest, could make a vast change, a drastic change.
You know, because you get to the point you're broken, and I think that's where I was, broken. So basically Jennifer took my burden on her. That's where I'm going to get teary-eyed. She took, you know, my burden.
You know, because I think if I had walked in asking for help that first time and been made to feel like I was not okay to be there, or it wasn't right for me to be asking, that would have been devastating. I would have never went back. But because they were so helpful and they were so caring and so supportive, it made me feel comfortable enough to ask for those other programs as well, you know, to get help. So yeah, a huge difference in everybody's life.
I think that so much has been done for us as a family that if I can help people, that it would be my way of paying it back. I think, you know, every agency in York County Community Action does something helpful for people, and we make a difference in people's lives every day, and it's truly a rewarding job, no matter what you do. Children, elderly, people getting to work, it all matters, you know.
They can now concentrate on the important things in life. If you have to worry every day about mouth pain, you can't concentrate on being a parent, being an employee. Some of our folks manage to get some work, and they have to take time off from work because of pain. Some of them can't take time off from work because they'll get fired, and they live in pain. And then finally they're no longer living in pain, or they're not embarrassed about their smile, and that means they can concentrate on having a life.
Whether they're seeing clients or delivering services directly, it doesn't matter. Every one of us in the facilities that make up the organization play a role in achieving the mission.
They're not just filling in forms, they're not just driving cars, they're empowering people, they're making people feel worthy.
We have, I would venture to guess, the most dedicated staff probably of any organization, at least in Maine, possibly in the country, and I know that sounds like hyperbole, but I really believe that. We're successful because we employ people who get it and who care and who give 110%, whether it's people who work with clients or never see clients. We're all part of the health of the organization and the effectiveness of the organization, and I hope that everyone understands that.
During a visit to the NASA Space Center in 1962, President John F. Kennedy noticed a janitor sweeping the floor. He walked over to the man and said, "Hi, I'm Jack Kennedy. What do you do here at NASA?" "Well, Mr. President," the janitor responded, "I'm helping to put a man on the moon." To most people, this janitor was simply cleaning the building. But in the more mythic, larger story unfolding around him, he was helping to make history. Here's the point. No matter what your role, you are contributing to the larger story unfolding within your life, your business, and your organization. And when your entire team embraces that type of attitude and belief system, incredible things happen.
singing a lullaby. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Ooh, someday you wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dare to, oh why can't I? Oh, someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like a lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high. The dreams that you dare to, why, oh why can't I?